In the Jihin Kingdom, within the Barkan territory, the shouts of a newspaper boy cut through the daily bustle, when he loudly proclaimed news from a village that had long been out of contact. The curiosity of the citizens was piqued, and they began to gather, taking the offered papers. As they scanned the troubling headlines, a sense of unease rippled through the growing crowd. With each sentence, their expressions darkened, the weight of the grim news settling upon them. The newspapers eventually found their way into the hands of the territory lord. As he carefully unfolded the parchment and read the words, the color drained from his face. The news was dire. A demon had appeared in his territory, hot on the heels of a recent lich incident, when his mind reeled in disbelief at the escalating threats facing his domain. His face grows pale with shock. A demon has appeared right after the lich incident in his territory. His mind reels in disbelief. What in the world is going on? He mutters under his breath. How could such trials strike this small territory one after another? The territory lord, Luke Barkham, sinks into his chair, his brows furrowed with deep concern. He thinks about the meaning behind the news. This isn't just some ordinary monster. A named demon has appeared in the Barkan estate. A named demon, one that is even recorded in historical texts, has made its appearance in the Barkan territory. Lord Luke Barkan knows that such a being carries weight beyond imagination. The mere mention of its existence could spark terror across the kingdom. At that moment, the guard commander enters and informs Lord Barkan that rumors are spreading quickly throughout the entire territory. People are panicking, their fear growing with every retelling of the story. Lord Barkan rubs his forehead, realizing the situation is spiraling out of control. He sighs heavily, thinking that the only silver lining in this dark disaster is that the sun god's inquisitor, Aqua, has succeeded in repelling the demon. At least for now, the danger has been pushed back. Still, Lord Barkan knows this reprieve is only temporary. He tells the guard commander that they must think carefully about their next course of action. Every decision from here on will decide the fate of the Barkan territory. The scene then shifts to a different location within the Barkan territory. Keel, in his usual stiff and composed tone, comments that the entire territory seems quite shaken by recent events. Nearby, the sun god's inquisitor, Aquas, is lying down, still recovering. She speaks softly but firmly, telling Keel that this is no small matter. After all, a named demon had truly appeared, and the territory must be facing a severe headache dealing with the aftermath. Aquas slowly begins to rise from the bed. Seeing this, Keel asks if she is leaving already. Shouldn't she rest a little longer before setting out again? Aqua shakes her head and replies that she cannot afford any delays. She must inform the Holy Land of these events as soon as possible. Keel nods, saying that if that is the case, he will not stop her. Aquas then sincerely thanks Keel from the bottom of her heart. She admits that without his timely help, she would have become nothing more than the demon's plaything. Hiddle waves off her gratitude, saying that thanks aren't necessary. His words surprise Aquas, but he continues casually, telling her that he was simply saving a friend. Then he asks her directly, "We are friends now, right?" Aqua's eyes widen at his words. Shock runs through her mind as she thinks, a barbarian and a servant of the divine becoming friends. Is this even possible? She voices her doubt, reminding Kettle that she is the sun god's inquisitor. Even so, does he still truly wish to call her a friend? Hiddle looks at her calmly and asks if there is any reason why he shouldn't. His question catches Aquas completely off guard. After a pause, she answers honestly, saying, "There is no reason." Hiddle smiles faintly and asks again, "Then it doesn't matter, does it?" Aquas, unable to argue, subtly smiled and admitted that he was right. Hiddle then said there was something he was curious about. Aquas tilted her head slightly and asked what he would like to know. Hiddle asked if it is true that one should never tell a demon their real name. Aquas nodded and explained the reason. It is because of the brand. Demons use a person's name to carve a dark brand into the human soul. Through that brand, they attract evil entities. Those who are marked with such a brand become no different from prey, reeking of spices to the forces of darkness. Traditionally, those who were marked had to undergo baptism to be saved, or else they would be hunted down and killed by evil forces sooner or later. Hiddle, almost like an airhead, asked if he had been branded too. Aquas shook her head and told him that was not the case. He was not branded. However, his name has likely been revealed to the beings of hell. Still, she assured him that without a brand, there is no way for them to track his location. They may have identified their target, but they lack the means to trace him directly. Unless he meets them face to face, there should be no problem. After hearing this, Hiddle said it was still fascinating. He recalled how he could not kill the demon with physical force alone. Aquoz replied that this is simply the nature of demons. She explained that a long time ago, the great gods created humans. In those ancient days, humans were foolish and dull, living only by instinct and lacking wisdom. The gods, however, chose not to interfere directly in the human world. But the beings from beyond, those who would later be called demons, took an interest in humans. They crossed over dimensions, and began to slaughter humans mercilessly. Eventually, the gods, unable to bear it any longer, descended to the human world. Witnessing such cruelty, the gods descended into the human world. They stood beside humans, labeling the other beings as demons and driving them away. Afterward, humans built churches to honor the gods who had saved them. With divine guidance, they survived and achieved remarkable progress. But as centuries passed, for reasons unknown, the demons once again began interfering in the human realm. To counter this, the gods chose loyal followers and granted them divine power. Aquaz explains that demons are beings who cannot be defeated through mere physical strength, they can only be subdued through divine power. Kittle listens carefully, and then remarks that this is why demons cannot be killed easily, because they are from another dimension. He adds that if such beings were to appear often, it would indeed be a severe headache for humanity. Aquaz agrees with him, adding that demons were never meant to exist in this world to begin with. And demons, in particular, are not supposed to appear so easily. Yet, it seems the demon realm, which should have been sealed away, is affecting the human world once again. Dungeon spawn cycles have become abnormal, and many evil entities are appearing across the land. This strange phenomenon has been occurring for the past year. Tittle's eyes widen with surprise. If it has been happening for a year, then that coincides with the time he was completing his final quest in the snowfield. His mind races, wondering if there is a connection. Aquaz, however, pulls him from his thoughts by once again thanking him sincerely. She says she must be going now, and that if Kettle ever visits their order, they will gladly welcome him. Kittle smiles, and says that he would definitely like that someday. Aquaz then departs in a carriage. As she sits inside, she reflects that her body has not yet fully recovered, but she cannot delay any longer. She must report everything to the saints as soon as possible. Her thoughts then drift back to Kettle, and she wonders silently to herself, why did the sun god ever give an oracle about that barbarian?